It's the motherfucking player haters. Oh, yeah.
Player haters.
Good afternoon. I've just been handed this urgent news message that says swinging and missing can suck my dick. Also, that apparently he's got the best pitching staff this side of the equator. All right, let's give it up for swinging and missing. He's been down and out. He's been in 12th place. He's kind of basically held residency. See, here in the state of Florida, from what I know, is that if you spend one night at a residence, then you've actually claimed residency there. Little fun-filled fact. So if you stay the night at a hotel, guess what? When you wake up the next morning, that could legally be your new address if you so choose. That's actually true. So let's just say that Eric's been living at Player Haters Ball Boulevard, unit number 12, for the past few weeks. But let's give it up. Taj Bradley is great. Nick Martinez last night played a good roster in the Chicago Cubs. And I guess now that whole streak of awesomeness kind of ended because Nick Martinez, you know what? Send me a screenshot, Eric. Send me a screenshot. And I like how the Taj Bradley screenshot only held just a little bit of information for the rest of us to just click on his name and find out that he actually does suck. But no, breaking news here. Swinging and missing is out of 12th place. He's moved on. He's Player Haters Ball Boulevard, Unit 11. He moved next door. That's right. It's my fucking podcast, and I can say the shit I want to. Congratulations, Eric. You beat me 9-3. Look at it. It looks like two dicks are going in my mouth. One's swinging and one's missing because they ain't going in there. Boo. Fuck you, cousin. Love you. Congratulations. I've been telling you I'm in your corner the whole time. In your corner, telling you to make trades with me, like Rhys Hoskins. And then I see you at work. Rhys Hoskins sucks ass. Give me a second. Let me get out of this jacket. I'll be right back. Breaking news. Fuck off. Hey, welcome in. Welcome back to our regularly scheduled program where we discuss things that actually matter. I'm just kidding. Yes, congratulations, Eric. You won last week. And I think you won the week before, right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's back it up. Where were you? Yep, you beat Mandalorians. That's right. Good job. Good freaking job, man. 2 weeks in a row and you're already chomping at the bit. I think you can smell blood in the water. That's not really to say that my wife is going through something right now. I think you're just... I think you're just, really excited about that ace staff you got. Boom, boom! Aces all around for swinging and missing. Yes. Ace staff. Man, this buzzsaw that people are going to go through. I got to get off this topic. But anyways, congratulations, man. 9-3. Last week, actually, really, that was about how it went for a lot of teams last week where, another week where teams that you would think would actually be winning did not, and the tone has been set in there. We got to talk about Jesus, man. I think this is now his third week at the number one spot, and he has now separated himself quite marginally, if I will. I know the last couple of podcasts I've put together, the margin was tight for everyone at the top. And now, after this recent victory, Jesus is saying, you guys can suck it, okay? And, man, looks like the Franklin is up for grabs down there in Gainesville. I think that's where he lives, or at least, So, but again, it's only week 9, and we'll get into week 9. Technically, it's week 10 now. But, yeah, Man, this is some crazy stuff we're talking about. Last week, myself and Eric, I don't know if you guys know, we faced off against each other. And Eric brought in his bag of best pitching staff ever. And man, he shined brighter than the North Star ever could with his pitching staff. And I know we've talked about it at nauseum, but man, Nick Martinez, Taj Bradley, and Jameson Taillon are by far some of the, if not the best pitchers. And Eric has the screenshots to prove it because in the last couple of weeks, Jameson Taillon, man, he has just carried that team against teams like the Colorado Rockies, the Miami Marlins. Oh, but when he faced the New York Mets, he had an ERA of 11.25. Yeah. But again, really just the best pitcher that you could find on the market. The market that, oddly enough, I told him he should probably look at. That's right. We were working together. I told him. Yeah, but Nick Martinez, man, I'm telling you guys, watch out for this kid. He's going places. When he faces a struggling Kansas City team, he gets 2 strikeouts. And when he faces a good Chicago Cubs team, he also gets 2 strikeouts. So, Nick Martinez, I'm being told to look up his recent stuff, and here we are. We're looking it up. We're doing this together. Oh, and Taj Bradley. I'm supposed to also look up his stats and find out that he faced Houston and got 10 strikeouts. I would want to know who was probably behind the catcher in that one, just to see if maybe the margin for the strike shown was a little wider. I don't know. But when he faces the world beaters of the Miami Marlins, I tell you what, 11.25 on the ERA. But hey, he's flying off the rails. Can't get any better. He's probably the best. Well, Jameson is probably the best of those 3 that we mentioned. But anyways, just giving him shit. Congratulations. He's now built a strong staff, and he's ready to show the world that the bottom 6 is not where he is going to stay. 9-3 was where he won everything. And yeah, I mean, when you acquire a midweek, it's probably not the best idea to trade away players to a team that you're competing against midweek, but it happens. The only reason he even played Rhys Hoskins that day is because Bryce Harper is a bitch. I mean, Bryce Harper had a boo-boo, and that was it. That literally probably was the only reason he played him. Let's just be honest, Eric. That's the only reason you played him, and then he went off for you. So congratulations, you got the stats that day. I probably wouldn't have played him either, because I felt like Josh Naylor was starting to come around. Speaking of which, right now you're hearing it here live. I've got 3 Arizona batters. I'm willing to trade one of them. Probably the hardest to come after me for will be Corbin Carroll, but I also kind of need everybody. Like I traded for Ketel Marte because let's face it, Jorge Polanco sat on a bag of dicks, and not 1, not 2, but the entire bag went up into his asshole the moment that I traded away Jose Altuve, and he's been really going through it, and he surgically needs them to be removed. But I know the moment that I drop him, he'll get picked back up by one Walker, and he'll become the second coming of Christ. While we're on that subject of Walker and the second coming of Christ, let's just jump to the bottom and go down to that matchup. Jesus said, "Oh, you have the best pitching staff in baseball? Hold my beer." Swinging and missing actually does, but I'm going to compete with what you have. And Jesus took 5 of the available 6. I'm like drawing a blank here. Pitching stats. Yeah. Nice whip, 6 quality starts, 69-61 in the strikeouts, beat them by 3 wins. They tied in save plus holds. Rally Monkeys was able to get 9 home runs. Again, 3 from Jose Altuve. What a wonderful world it is for him to be on your team, for you to have drafted him, for you to just, see into the future that I would be a dumb, stupid son of a bitch and trade him for that Polanco bitch. Again, I've said it week after week. Pete Crow Armstrong is the real deal. This kid is shining bright, and he could very well be a top 10 pick next year. I mean, is that too far of a stretch? I mean, he's got better numbers than Bobby Witt Jr. right now. Bobby Witt, 30 runs, 6 home runs, 31 RBI, 20 stolen bases. You look down at Pete Crow Armstrong, 46 runs, 15 home runs, 51 RBIs, and 19 stolen bases. Shit. Okay? Wow. Good on you. Getting to face a pitcher that you traded away earlier in the season in Carlos Rodon probably didn't feel that good. What's up with Spencer Strider? He had a pretty good game, I want to say, against the Phillies, but against Washington, not so much. And in a couple of days, he faces the Arizona Diamondbacks. Because I have 3 Arizona Diamondbacks currently right now on my team, tomorrow, I believe Spencer Strider will have his best game ever. Just reporting the news. 8-3 was your final there. And again, we mentioned how well troubleshooters has been playing as of late. And with this, it really supplanted himself, at least probably for another week, depending on how bad Nick beats my ass this week. Speaking of, let's just jump right into Nick. Nick played Mandalorians. Scott, 9-2 was your matchup there. 36-12. This was actually a lot closer than the score would predict, especially in the batting stats. He only beat him by 1 home run, and he beat him by .004 in the average and .10 in the OBP. So this was close. In the pitching categories, again, pretty close. The ERA, 3.33 to 3.71. And save plus holds, they tied, but strikeouts, Nick was dominant in strikeouts and in wins. Nick's got a really good team, and, ever since, thank you, I just got dick-shaped food brought to me. If you were watching earlier in the breaking news, this is probably, going along with that. But Junior Caminero, we got to talk about this kid. A couple of weeks ago, I remember Nick threw him out there and was like, hey, who wants this kid? Nobody really was biting. And now I bet we're all wishing, myself included, that we had snagged that dude up. Now, he's playing in a smaller ball field for the Tampa Bay Rays. That's going to help him because, you look at the stats. Well, actually, you got a lot of stats on the road in Houston. But I believe he hits he's got a pool side to the left field, and in Houston, that left field wall's kind of brought in a little bit. I think somebody back me up on that. But regardless, the dude put up big boy numbers this week, and I've been dreading this week, Nick. Not gonna lie, you've got, in my opinion, the best batters, top to bottom. Nobody's gonna say that you don't. I would be hard pressed to say that, Walker, in all of his strength in the batting category, would say that you have a weak batting. You don't. Kyle Tucker, Fernando Tatis, Teoscar Hernandez, Francisco Lindor, Isaac Paredes. You've got the best batting by far. And then you look at your pitching. You go out there, grab Gavin Williams after I dropped him. He's now a real ace. Hunter Brown, fan-fucking-tastic. He's he's great. And so, there's no reason why you're living in the world where you're tied with me right now in the rankings. It's going to change this week, and I'm glad I'm here for it. Okay? So there you go. Yeah, moving on from that, Rayford. Look at her. She's moving up slowly. She took every batting category against the Hitman and left no fucking doubts. 34, 10, 29, 5, 326 in the average, 395 OBP to what the hitman Sean put up. 19, 5, 15. Closest category was stolen bases with 4 to her 5, but the average and OBP weren't even in the same ballpark. I mean, he rode the coattails of Ellie De La Cruz, and that's about it. Nothing really from Matt McLain, from Julio Rodriguez. I mean, he gave him his probably second best stats, but she really got some great stats from James Wood. This Andy Pages, man, has just really been good for her. Xander Bogaerts even put up some pretty good numbers. But again, let's face it, Jose Ramirez, he's the backbone of that team. But she's got a great, lineup, and she gets Jazz Chisholm back this week. So she is a force to be reckoned with. And she's got some really good pitchers on her roster. She went and grabbed out Andrew Abbott. This guy has been fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, you want to look at an actual good pitching stat line in the last couple of weeks. Against Atlanta, 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs. Yes, against the White Sox, he had good numbers. But again, you got to have good numbers against the White Sox. Cleveland, 1 win, 5 strikeouts. Chicago, granted, he only got 2 strikeouts, like I had mentioned with Nick Martinez, but he also had 1.59 on the ERA. He limited runs. Now, the fucking whip was a little high that game, but again, they're a good team. And he faced the Chicago Cubs again, and he actually did good. 1 win, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, and limited. So he fixed what he had done the first time, recognized what he had done, and he changed it, in my opinion, or from what. Zach Wheeler had a bad game against the Braves, but he's Zach Wheeler. He'll be fine. Hunter Green, Drew Rasmussen. I mean, and you look at her relief pitchers. Camilo Doval gets a pay increase and gets bumped up to being the relief pitcher now. And she's got Tyler Rogers. Those two put up some really solid numbers. And Aroldis Chapman has been quietly just for the Boston Red Sox getting some pretty good stats himself. I mean, he's not really, I think, their head save plus holds guy, but I don't know. But I don't even see the stat. Like, where's the stat that would tell me how many he's got? Because it's covered up by her ownership. I don't see how many he's got. Anyways, yeah. So she loses Nathan Eovaldi this week. Not what you want, but we all know it's Nathan Eovaldi. He was going to have that. So she wins 7-4 over Sean. Let's see who we didn't cover. Trippin' Billies against Brian. Brian saying, hey, Shane, fuck it off. So, yeah. Shane said, I'm going to take the first 3 and OBP. You can have the other 2, which was stolen bases. This wasn't even close, really, when you look at the first 3 stats. 29-18, 10-2, 33-22. But where Brian lacked in batting, he picked up every single pitching category. 4-2 in the wins, 61-57 in the strikeouts, despite Shane's best effort to stream on his ass, which, hey, it's his moves. He can do with them what he wants to, which I only have 2 left. So, Shane, can I borrow a few? 4.17 in the ERA, 1.25 in the whip. That was probably due to the fact that you grabbed up names like Bryce Elder and Adrian Hauser, raising that ERA, but we know you were chasing at least something, a category of a win or possibly strikeouts, quality starts, whatever. But the pitching staff of Ranger Suarez, Tyler Anderson, and now probably out for the rest of the season, Corbin Burns, was able to hold you off for just long enough. But yeah. Shane's really grasping at not grasping, but he's gonna have a better outfield once look who's heating up. Marcus Semien. That's cool. Anyways, Yordan Alvarez has been unproductive for him. Anthony Santander, he's now to the IL. But yeah, got great production from all of his outfielders, Juan Soto, George Springer, Christian Yelich, who now is day-to-day, probably dealing with, he got a bruised right hand. Thought it was the back. But yeah, Freddie Freeman's kind of cooled off a little bit. I say a little bit. He's still batting .417, so that's not bad. Riley Green cooled off a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, Brian, like I said, was able to grab the pitching, and yeah, we are where we are with Brian. He defeats Shane 8-4. And last but not least, let's talk about Josh against Jason. Josh, again, good solid week. 9-3 against Jason. He took almost every single batting category and 4 of the 6 in the pitching. The only thing he didn't have was RBIs. 26-17 was what Jason could pull out of the batting. Pretty close when you look at it. 29-24, 8-6, 6-5. Those are your runs, home runs, stolen bases. Average in OBP. There was a little bit of separation in the average, but very close in the OBP. And in the pitching categories, Jason did not have a good week. 5.08 in the ERA and a 1.38 in the WHIP. He was able to get 5 quality starts, but Josh took that stat with 7, and Josh couldn't get a save plus hold to save his life. There was a little pun there. Yeah. Josh, let's talk about your team for a second. When Matt Olson comes around, you know you've got yourself something. Jarren Duran, a name that we really haven't mentioned much. He's kind of quiet this year, right? Is that right to say that? Yeah. I mean, he's still swiping bags, but it just feels like he's been a little quiet. But you've got the best outfielder, best player in baseball, and Aaron Judge. So ride that hot streak. So again, great from Josh all around who he's got. And yeah. And then Jason, sad to say it, but Adley Rutschman has just been a huge disappointment in baseball. Jake Burger's going to give you burgers for weeks and then nothing for months. Trey Turner has been kind of slow but steady. Jackson Churio, another Milwaukee Brewer that's turning it around. And yeah. But Jack Caglione, big news coming out of Kansas City. From everything I've heard, he will be playing in the outfield. They're not going to move off of Vinny Pasquantino, even though he's gotten kind of quiet here recently. But yeah, it's great to see that, they're giving him the opportunity, because that Kansas City, man, I had Bubich, and 1 run was all he gave up, and they couldn't muster anything. And that Kansas City, that Braves roster, just talk about some letdowns this season. I mean, they just don't have it. They have no offense whatsoever. So let's look ahead this week. Week 10, double digits. We have this week and, well, let's see. Man, talk about a buzzsaw. I got Nick this week and Jesus next week. 3 losses. How many more are we going to stack up? This is awesome. I'll be down there. Hold my spot for me if you don't mind there. My wife brings me warm food while I'm talking during a podcast. That's great. I'm not going to eat it, so it'll have to get reheated here in a little bit. Anyways, moving on. Myself and Nick will face off against each other. We are tied for 6th place. Nick, congratulations already. No, it's not Dobsoning. It's understanding that I'm not going to be able to do what you're going to be able to do to me. You already start off the week with way more batters than I do. Shane will face off against Josh. This is another good matchup because 2nd and 3rd. Shane obviously wants to put together at least a more competitive matchup to stay relevant, but I mean, Josh has been on a hot streak here recently, so we shall see. Hitman will face off against Brian. Brian chomping at the bit that he's facing off against number 12. I think he's saying, hey, Shane, you're in my spot. Jesus will face off against Scott. That's all I'm going to say. You guys can see it on my face. It looks like it's going to be another strong week from Jesus. Scott, we're pulling for you, baby. Let's do it. Ray will face off against Eric. Like I said earlier, smelling blood in the water. Dobson household not doing so well right now. Well, Ray is, not me. Eric, ace staff, Jesus, not Jesus, is on your side. You're getting out of 11th, man. I think he's also saying, you're in my spot, but he's saying that to Ray. Ray's in 10th, if you get the joke. Jason will look to try to get in my spot, which I will be moving away from, and he'll be facing off against Walker, but Walker says, nuh-uh-uh, just because in 9th doesn't mean that, count me out. But again, Walker's got the best hitting staff and the best pitching staff. So, Jason, you stand no chance. No chance. Those are your matchups for this week. And let's just look at what we just said. I think I gave everybody's ranking, but I'm just going to give it to you. Troubleshooters, bench warmers, tripping billies, agents of chaos, Mikasa Sukasas, and D's nuts. Bench warmers and tripping billies are tied for second. Agents of chaos stands alone at third or fourth, however you want to look at it. Game and a half back from those two aforementioned gentlemen. And myself and Nick are tied for, fourth place. So, but again, we hold down 5th and 6th. And like I had stated earlier, some separation was made last week. Maybe not in a good way, but Jason now sits out of the top 6, but he's 13 and a half games back from Jesus. Half a game back from him is Scott. Rally Monkeys is half a game back from Scott in 9th place. Ray is a game and a half back from Walker. 3.5 games back from Ray is Eric, and 3.5 games back from Eric is Sean. I've dubbed this episode Down to 2. That's because, yes, the league leader in moves is yours truly with 58. It's good to be here. It's good to be queer. And it's June, so it fits perfectly in this month. Why is Gay Pride in Father's Day month? Why can't we have our own month? The moms get theirs. So, but it's Mental Health Awareness Month in May too. And that kind of fits because then women are crazy. Anyways, that's all I really got. Welcome to the Bigs, Jack Caglione. Yeah, that's all I think I can discuss right now. Week 10, we're getting close to having played everyone once. But, all right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
It's the mother